What's going on out there, everybody? Alex here with, you guessed it, a cup of coffee. And this is a pretty rare cup of coffee because I'm on camera. And I'm on camera because I wanted you guys to take a look at this. I'm sitting here in my card room, and as you can see behind me, I've got some baseball photographs and collectibles up on the wall. That's related to a piece that I'm about to share with you all that I just picked up. But I wanted to take a moment to talk about a thought process that I've been having. Over the past couple of months, I've been in here kind of cleaning up my cardroom space and reorganizing things, but also reconsidering what I want to display. This is a space that I spend a lot of time in. It's also my office. So I see all this stuff all the time, and I love being in this space. This is a space where I can kind of relax and just take a moment out of the day and chill out, which I think we all do, right? And so this space means a lot to me. But I also think that a space like this can change over time. You can take things out and add new things, and it evolves as your collection evolves. And so as you can see back here, I've taken some things off the wall, and that got me thinking about what new areas I might want to look into, what players, what ideas of the game and the history matter to me and that I want to display. And that, of course, means going down rabbit holes, doing research, looking around on eBay, and of course it ends up resulting in some acquisitions. So I've got one that I'm going to share with you guys here in a moment. I've got another one that is on its way, and that I'm going to be making a video for very shortly. And that particular pickup I'm very excited about, by far the biggest pickup for me this year. And it's I think, a really unique and beautiful item that I can't wait to get. That's going to end up here on the wall as well, and really kind of tie some of my collection together, I think. So I'm excited about that. The piece I'm going to share with you guys right now is one of my favorite types of things to find. It's vintage, but it's not a vintage baseball card. Vintage baseball memorabilia is a wide spectrum of stuff, right? And I like finding stuff that ties into eras of the game or players that I respect and appreciate, but they're not necessarily baseball cards, which sometimes means they're a little bit more affordable. So, for example, this Jackie Robinson Time magazine cover, I love that piece. I got that a couple years ago. And this piece that I just got kind of reminds me of that, in the sense that it's related to the game, but it's not a card. And this particular player, for me, is a tough player to collect, but he's an incredible player and one that I really respect. And so this acquisition gives me a way of adding him to the collection in a pretty affordable way. So we're going to take a look at the piece, and then we're going to get it up here on the wall. So let's get started. All right, guys, so here we go. What you're looking at is the September 1937 edition of Baseball Magazine, which of course is featuring Joe DiMaggio in his second full year in the majors. Now, what I like so much about this, besides the beautiful 1930s graphic design, which makes up this whole cover, is the little blurb under DiMaggio's picture. It says, "Jolting Joe DiMaggio of the Yanks, who bids fair to become a superstar." Just absolutely love that. It's a little precursor of what's to come. Just imagine being in the 1930s, going to the local newsstand and picking up a copy of Baseball Magazine for 20 cents and reading about Joe DiMaggio, who might someday become a superstar. Just incredible. So let's take a moment here and kind of flip through the magazine and get a sense of what's inside. Of course, the fun part of flipping through these old magazines is just the surprises. You never know what you're going to find. Great photographs, great articles. But bam, right on the first page, just looking at this layout, you know exactly what era you're in. Just amazing font and the baseball and the bats. But let's take a look at this photograph here. A great kind of portrait shot here. It says the husky Al Todd of the Pittsburgh Pirates, an aggressive backstop who can powder the ball. Sorry, Al Todd, I guess you're husky. But you can imagine that some people would be tearing these pages out and pinning these up to the wall. Of course, I'd rather pin up the other side of this, the front cover with DiMaggio on it, which of course is what I'm going to do. Here's the main article of the magazine. It says the power of the Yankee punch. And this whole thing is about the new Yankee era, post Babe Ruth, Ruth had retired just a few years earlier, and the article is investigating what the new Yankees are going to be able to do. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. The caption says, "Some of the players who represented the American League in the All-Star Game at Washington this year, left to right, are Lou Gehrig, Joe Cronin, Bill Dickey, Joe DiMaggio, Charlie Gehringer, Jimmy Fox, and Hank Greenberg." This is a fantastic photograph of some of the greatest players in the game, and it's just tucked away in this magazine. Really amazing. But before we wrap this up, I want to share this advertisement which I found in the back of the magazine. As you can see, it says 14 new art posters, and there's a whole spread about the different players and teams that you can send away for these full portrait photographs. So I looked this up, and these are now designated as M114 baseball magazine posters. These were premiums that were issued by the baseball magazine company somewhere in the 1930s and all the way into the 1950s. They were printed on pretty thin stock, a lot of New York players, a lot of big names, and really cool photographs that are also used in the magazine itself. So just a quick look at the inside of this magazine, especially now since this is going to be up on the wall. I can always come back to this video and remind myself of the great content inside the magazine. I wanted to share this little blurb with you guys before I finish this up. In the article about the Yankees, the writer said that the records show DiMaggio, the most brilliant of rookies a year ago, is going on to even greater heights this year. One of the best outfielders who ever lived, DiMaggio is also one of the heaviest hitters. He leads in homers. Only 2 years into his career, and the writer's already making these big, bold predictions. Alright guys, so I'm going to put this thing into the frame, get it up on the wall, and just have a look at it. So thanks so much for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed, and talk to y'all soon.
He started baseball's famous streak that's got us all aglow. He's just a man and not a freak. Joltin' Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.